Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for following, and if you are following the HTML series, welcome back. Today's video is about CSS, introduction to CSS. CSS standing for cascading style sheets. So now that you learned the basic structure of HTML and how web pages are structured, this CSS series sort of dives deeper into how to make your web pages look more amazing, more beautiful and stylish. If you think of it, HTML, the skeleton of web pages, CSS is then the skin, clothing, styling and makeup, if you think about it, just to make web pages look amazing and stylish. So what is then CSS3? CSS3 stands for cascading style sheets, and CSS3 is a third version of cascading style sheets. It's a language that brings style into your web pages by allowing you to style your fonts, your colors, and make your overall web page look beautiful, especially on mobile phones. So CSS lets you do a few things, right? One of them being styling your fonts and text as mentioned, colors and backgrounds, spacing, that'll be your margins and paddings in and around your web page, animations and transitions between sections and pages. It's also responsible for the overall responsive design, especially on mobile devices and other smaller devices. Right now you are seeing a web page that has some CSS styling into it, which then makes our web page looks a lot more beautiful. And if you look at this example on the other hand, this is just a basic HTML page without any styling. I hope you then can see the power of CSS, what it can then do in terms of breathing life into your HTML page. So how then do you add CSS styling into your HTML page? There's mainly three ways of doing it. One of them being inline styling. I'll just open up my code now and just show you how inline style or inline CSS styling works. So as the word mentioned, inline, this has to be styled, or you style your element within your HTML structure. It's not the best practice to do, but I just want to show you one way of styling. How you would do that, you would have to come into your opening tag of a section. In this case I've chosen paragraph. Then you would need to then type in style. So I want to style this. What sort of styling do I want to apply? I can do background color, I can do the color of the text. Let's then do background color and let's make it blue. Save. Then I will go to my browser. What I'm expecting to see in my browser is a background that is blue, and as you can see, my paragraph has a background that is blue. I can change this and just have color and not a background color, so that will only make the text color blue. You can come back and see how it looks on my page. So that's how you apply inline styling using CSS within your HTML page. The second way of styling would be sort of internal CSS, right? So what you then do, or where you then style your HTML elements, would be within your head section. So within your head section you would then add a style, opening and closing tags, and then you need to choose what is it that you want to style. And in this instance I want to then style my H5. Let's just target H5, and in order to do that I need to open up curly brackets, and then I need to say H5 curly brackets, and I want to change the color, all my H5 headings, and I want to make it brown. And save this, come back to my web page. So all my H5 headings would then have been styled with the color brown, and I've done that by using the internal CSS styling method, right? So it's still within the HTML structure that I've just added styling in the head section. The third way of styling would be to then do an external CSS styling, and this we would need to do by creating a page and calling it style.css, and all your code will then sit in the style.css file, and you can call that from your HTML page and call or reference a specific style that you want to follow within your web page. This is the best practice as it helps clean and structure your code a lot better, and it also helps when you are handling or working with medium larger projects. So let's write a quick rule together following some basic CSS rules. So in our style sheet we're gonna first go and reference, say, the H4 4, which is a heading 4, and I would need curly brackets. What do I want to do with all my H4? I want to then change color. Let's change the color. Let's make it this color. Also, let's change the font size and let's make it 25 pixels. Lastly, let's then change the position of this font. So I'll do that by selecting the text align, and let's just center it and control save. So what's happening in this rule, the H4 is what is called a selector, and the color is what is called a property. So the color, the font size, and the text alignment, all of those are properties, and they are followed by colon, those 2 dots, and after that is the value. So the value then defines to the web browser how to display all of the selectors, which in this case is H4. They need to be displayed in a specific color, with this color that I've chosen, and the size, which is a 25 pixel. In terms of the positioning, it needs to be centered, and every CSS rule sort of follows this pattern: the selector property with a value at the end, and at the end of the value there needs to be a semicolon. So what makes CSS3 so special? CSS3 introduced features that all the CSS didn't have. Those would include media query, so that would make your site more mobile friendly. Secondly is the flexbox and grids that creates flexible layouts. Thirdly is a transition and animation that would just make the transition a lot more smoother between sections and pages. The fourth one, it allowed for custom fonts and web fonts, so you can use much more beautiful typefaces and typography using CSS3. The last one is shadows and gradients, border radiuses as well. So all of these sort of add a lot of depth and style into your web page. A quick recap of what we've covered in this video: we've looked at what CSS is and what CSS3 can do. We've looked at how to style a HTML page using the 3 basic methods of styling. We've touched on the first rule of CSS, and we've highlighted what makes CSS3 so powerful. In the next video, we'll dig a little bit deeper into more CSS rules and how they apply. So please stay tuned, follow our CSS series. If the video has been helpful for you, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time, thank you very much. Cheers.